Great. Good afternoon, everyone. We welcome Sergio Garcia to the interview room here at the Shell Houston Open. Back for a third time after finishing third last year. This is your sixth start of the season. You've already got 2 top 5s. Tell us how you're feeling about this week and going into next.
Yeah, excited to be back here in Houston. Obviously had a great year last year, so had a great week last year. Excuse me. Played 9 holes this morning. Course looks great, very good shape. The greens are a little bit soft at the moment, a little bit slower than expected. But other than that, it looks really nice, and I'm excited to play and do hopefully a little bit better than last year.
All right, we'll open it up for questions.
Sergio, you did play very well last year and contended, and we're in a position maybe to win the tournament. Didn't seem to set you up well for the Masters though. You got down there and didn't hit the ball well. What can you just talk about? Were you doing anything different this year? And
No, not really. I think that at the end of the day, every single week is it's a new story, and some weeks you play terrible, and then the next week you play amazing. Some weeks you play great, and then the next week you play terrible. And some weeks you play great, and then you play great. And so it's you never know what's going to come out. Obviously you hope and you wish that you play as best as you can. At the end of the day, the only thing I can do is go out there, play to the best of my ability, and just hope that best is good, like it was here last year. And
you're not here to practice for the Masters. You're here to win the Shell Houston Open.
Yeah, for sure.
And if you get some practice in, that's great too.
Yeah, I think that there's no doubt that obviously the Masters in the back of our minds, but I'm here to play well, to get on some good rhythm, to have a chance at winning this week, and then as soon as Sunday finishes, then I'll concentrate on the Masters. I'm not gonna be on the golf course this week thinking, maybe let's try this shot because I'll have it next week on the 12th or on the 15th or something like that. No, I'm gonna be focused on what I want to achieve here, and then when Sunday finishes, then I can concentrate on next week.
You contended and played very well at the Open Championships. Rory had an unbelievable run. Never wavered. Led start to finish. Never.
Yeah.
But can you reflect a little bit on the state of the game right now with him seemingly on the top, going for a 3rd straight major? You still chasing one?
Yeah. No, I think. Obviously, there's some guys that we're missing. There's no doubt about that. But I think that it's nice to see some of the younger guys coming up, like Rory and Jordan and Patrick Reed, and some other international youngsters coming up that are doing great. At the end of the day, we know that's the future of the game, and it needs to keep. Kind of clearing up as it goes on. Obviously, we get older every year, and it's nice to see young guys playing well and keeping the future of the game out there where it should be.
Sergio, what was your motivation to come back to this event last year? You had skipped it for a while, and what did you find in your game being here last year?
Schedule-wise, it seemed I wanted to do something a little bit different going to the Masters. I felt really comfortable here when I came last year, so I wanted to try it again this year. Hopefully it'll be I'll do better next week too. But it is a nice golf course. They take great care of us. Obviously, you have some shots that you might get next week, sorry. It's nice to get a feeling about it, chipping around the greens and things like that. First of all, it's a great tournament, and I think it also helps that it's set up similar to next week.
Sergio, what do you think of Jimmy Walker? He's won 5 times now in his last 37 times on tour.
No, he's obviously come out of his shell. He's wonderful player. We've seen it since the beginning, but now it looks like he's loosened up a bit more, and he probably believes in himself a lot more than he maybe did early on. So he's doing great, and I'm sure he's very happy about it.
I know you talk about this everywhere, you won all over the world, you got a whole bunch of top tens and majors. How important is it for you at this stage of your life to check that box on your resume and win the first major?
It is important, but it's not the ultimate thing, Obviously, it's something that I would love to do, mainly because, I would love to win not more than one major, because it's one of the reasons why we practice and why we love doing what we do. But I also said it, if, let's hope not, but if for whatever reason it comes out that it comes down to me not winning any majors when I'm done with my golfing career, I'm not gonna be sad, or I'm not gonna be less happy than if I do. I think that it's not the main thing. Obviously, it's something nice to have, and if I get it, I'm not gonna give it back. But that is not the main thing in my life.
When did you come to terms that you would not allow that to define what you're all about as a golfer?
Well, I think as you get older, as you get more and more experience, you realize the important things in life, and I'm not saying that winning a major is not important, but it's not the most important thing in the world. I think that there's a lot of other things that you can do that can not only fulfill you as a player, but also as a person. And at the end of the day, the most important thing for me is to when I quit playing golf, to leave the game better than when I started. So hopefully I can put my little fingerprint on it and help it a little bit.
There are reports out there that Tiger's plane is in Augusta that surprise you.
Sorry?
There are reports out there that Tiger's private jet is in Augusta.
Okay.
And would that surprise you if he plays? And if he does play, what do you think that would mean to the game? Do you guys see him back out there?
Well, I think that every time that he plays is good. It's good for us. It's good for the game. It would be nice to see him play at least 2 or 3 weeks in a row, which doesn't seem like he's been able to do for quite some time now. So, but we'll see. But at the end of the day, if he doesn't play, it doesn't mean that the tournament is not going to go on and golf is over. We all got to realize that, and I said it before, there's going to be a point where there's going to be no Tiger, there's going to be no Phil, there's going to be no Ernie Els, there's going to be no Sergio Garcia, and there's going to be no Rory McIlroy, but there will be other guys coming up that will take the game where it should be. So, it's it is what it is.
Of all the majors you've come close in, is there one that you regret more than another?
I don't know. I think probably the one that kind of sticks in my mind probably would be 2007 Greece Open. But no, I think that at the end of the day, like I always said, I give it my best effort, and when I do that, like I did last year at the Greece Open, there's nothing you can do. If someone plays better than you, the only thing you can do is congratulate him and then keep trying.
Yeah, so that was a classic tournament where you certainly played well enough to win the tournament, but one guy played lights out, right?
I don't think I did. That's
Okay.
why I didn't.
We'll go back. Oh, sorry, did you have a question?
Yeah, Sergio, as a guy who was seen as a young gun for so many years, is it strange for you to now be on the other side and be part of the older guard with guys like Jordan and Patrick?
Not really. It's just way of life. I'm 35 now. I'm not 20 or 22 anymore, and it's the way it is. And there's nothing you can do about that. I'm happy that I'm 35, and hopefully I'll keep getting older. That's a good sign.
What's changed in your outlook now versus when you were younger?
Sorry?
What's changed in your outlook on the course now than maybe 10 years ago?
Well, I think that, like I said before, I think that as you get older and you go through life and through moments, not only on the golf course but outside and stuff, you kind of realize that things that are really, really important in your life and things that are important, but you know, you can kind of go through without it. So it's just a matter of you know, realizing those things, realizing what you want to do, you know, trying to do it the best way you can, and then, you know, if you manage to do that and you leave the course or whatever you are with your head up held high, thinking, you know, that's all I could do. You know, there's nothing else you can ask yourself for.
What are you most proud of in your career right now to date? What would be one thing that would stand out?
I don't know. There's, fortunately for me, you know, even though some people think opposite, I think I've had a great career. You know, I feel very fortunate. Obviously, it all depends on who you compare with, but against the average, I think that I've been very, very fortunate. You know, I've done a lot of great things in and outside the golf course. So I think that not only some of my wins and Ryder Cups and things like that, but some of the things we've done with my foundation and the first tee and things like that, those things are sometimes maybe overlooked, and you know, people don't realize how great it is to be able to help people that really need it. So, you know, it's a lot of great things.
Adam, Jimmy, and then
Sergio, you had a little time to reflect on your finish at Northern Trust. Based on the way things went down, what did you take away from that, and what have you been working on to tie to your game?
Well, fortunately, I feel much better. You know, I've been working on my game quite hard, and you know, my feel for the swing and what I'm doing with the club and everything feels much better than it did there. Now I wish I could be maybe standing on that 17th tee the way I feel now. I mean, opposite to the way I felt that week. But you know, like I said there, yeah, I mean, you can look at it and say, oh, you know, you finished bogey and you know, missed the player by one and this and that. But I looked at it on a different way. You know, as badly as I felt through the whole week with my game. I'm not saying that I didn't hit good shots, but I hit a lot of bad shots and a lot of bad shots that I haven't hit in a long time. To get that feeling and still have a chance of winning, almost win the tournament, that was the very positive thing for me. So that's the way I took it that week, and you know, the only thing I can do is keep improving and keep putting myself in that situation.
Is the driver the thing you've been focusing on?
No, everything. You know, I hit some terrible irons that week too. So I mean, I worked on everything, every single aspect of the game, and probably short game was what worked the best for me. What was the most consistent that week, and you know, I just tried to sharpen everything around it.
Yeah, Sergio, you're getting ready to play here at a tournament that's had a high number of playoff finishes through the years. You've won some of your memorable wins at TPC, obviously in the playoff. I remember a Nelson playoff.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about the mindset it takes when you get in that situation? What works for you when you get there?
In a playoff.
In the playoff.
Well, to me, usually when I get into a playoff, I feel more relaxed than when I'm playing outright. You know, on the 72 holes, because you feel like you've already had a great week. You feel like you know, you already have a great chance of winning. So, you know, whatever happens, you know, if you do well, it feels like a great little present or prize, and so, you know, you just try to be aggressive, confident, and you know, the good thing is you know that no matter what happens, you can finish worse than second. So
any strategic change you take in? Do you go at the flag harder on when you've got the opportunity?
No, I guess it all depends on how you feel at that time. There's times where you, obviously, if you don't feel comfortable going at a pin, it's, unless you really have to because the other guys hit it to a foot, then sometimes it's stupid to force yourself to do something that you don't feel comfortable. But if you do, then yeah, you take a chance, and even if you don't pull it off, then it's fine.
Sergio, you touched on Rory a while ago. Your thoughts about he has a possibility here at the age of 25 to complete the career slam next week. What do you think about that?
Yeah, well, it's great. It just shows the potential and the quality of the player that we're talking about. Obviously, we all knew that he was, was going to be the next best thing, and he's showing it off. And wonderful player, great person, and that's why he's doing well.
Do you think he's at this stage of his career? I mean, is he on the verge of being Tiger-esque, as Tiger was, in the 10 years ago or so?
It's difficult to say. I mean, what Tiger did for so long is it's going to be very difficult to repeat. His winning streaks and all the majors he won for a time where he was really up there. Pretty much it seemed like every week. That's very difficult to achieve, and I think that Rory has some sort of similarities to that. Maybe his consistency is not as great as Tiger's was when Tiger was on his prime, but it's it's fairly close. So anytime you can be close to that, I think that you're in good shape.
Do you ever think back warm memories of the '99 Medina PGA?
Yeah, obviously, yeah, I do. I do think about it once in a while. It kind of comes back to mind, and it was an amazing week for me. So how can I not have those memories?
Kind of define who you were, right? Who you were going to be, don't you think? You let your personality show.
No, I think it defined who I was, not who I was going to be. I was just being myself. That's what I always do, and for good and for bad. So. I was just being myself, doing what I love doing, which is playing golf, and that's what it was.
Sergio, you started out your PGA Tour here in Texas. You got your first win here in Texas on the PGA Tour. Player consultant on the course used last week. You want to talk about Texas, and I guess it holds a special place to you somewhere.
Yes, definitely. No doubt about it. Like you said, a lot of great things have related me to Texas. I think that obviously Byron Nelson was my debut here in the U.S. and played great there. Finished third, I think. So I had I want to say 2 wins in Texas. So very fortunate to be able to do well in this state, and the only thing I can hope is for more great things to come in the near future.
Okay, final question, Adam.
Sergio, has your belief in your chances at Augusta National improved?
Yeah, I'd say so, for sure. Yeah, definitely. I feel like, from maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I definitely feel, I think it's mainly because of the way I look at everything now. So, even last year, when I missed the cut, I was fine with it. Obviously, I wasn't happy, but I took it much easier than I might have taken it 6, 7, 8 years ago. So I think at the end of the day, I came to realize that I can't try to force things, and I just try to let it happen, and if it happens to go well, great, and if it doesn't, just come back the next year and try it again.
All right, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.